I'm Barbara Nevins Taylor with Consumer Mojo Mortgage Minutes. To get a good mortgage, get Credit Smart first. Learn how good or bad your credit is and how that will affect your home buying power.
If you're getting ready to apply for a mortgage, the most important thing to do is to get your financial house in order.
Begin by examining your credit report.
Your credit report is literally a report of the credit that you've applied for and your payment history.
Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are the three private companies, credit bureaus that keep track of our credit history.
A lot of things could show up on your credit report. So it's loans that you would take out, so student loans, car loans, mortgages, credit card information, if there's any judgments against you, any sort of public record information.
Sometimes information on the report is wrong.
If you've been paying your bills on time and it shows on the credit report that you've paid them late, you want to fix that.
So examining the report is important. You can check your credit report for free 3 times a year by going to annualcreditreport.com.
If there are things that are inaccurate on there, you write letters to both the credit reporting agency and to the creditor explaining why the report is in error, attach documentation, send it certified mail.
Accuracy is critical. What's on the credit report affects your credit score.
Your credit score is a statistical evaluation of your credit worthiness. So things like your bill paying history, the amounts of your bills, whether you pay them on time, how frequently you pay them. If you've maxed out all your credit cards, that's going to affect your credit score.
Most banks use the FICO score created by the Fair Isaac Corporation. FICO scores range from 300 to 850.
We would look at anything from 680 and up.
If you have a 740 or better, that's considered A credit.
The higher the FICO score, the lower the interest rate. The lower the score, the higher the rate.
If you have a lower FICO, you are deemed to be more risky, and the banks need to price in that risk element to protect themselves.
Here's how it shakes out. For a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage of $300,000, a score of 760 to 850 gets a 1.5% lower interest rate than a score of 620 to 639, and you save more than $104,000 during the 30 years. There's only one way to improve a credit score.
The only way really to fix that is to start paying your bills on time.
Yet there are companies that claim to help repair your credit.
There are many companies that exist for the sole purpose of just making money by charging fees and claiming to fix people's credit reports and the information that's reported. That is a complete lie.
Consumers need to be wary. There aren't real easy, quick fixes to clean up your credit report. It takes some time.
These scammers can get you in trouble.
One of the things they'll do is sometimes they'll encourage consumers to try and change their identity, to either create a new social security number or to create an employee identification number. And doing those kinds of things can get you into criminal trouble because you're essentially defrauding financial institutions.
It takes 7 years to completely clean up a credit report. Now the next step, if you're credit smart, it's time to review your budget.
Well, the only way you know how much you have to spend is by knowing how much the bank's giving you to borrow.
A banker, mortgage broker, or housing counselor can help pre-qualify you. You'll have to provide a complete financial package.
Banks will require that you provide verification of your income for the past 2 years, meaning tax returns. You'll have to provide verification of your liquid assets. Banks will generally ask for 3 months' worth of statements for each of your accounts, including retirement assets.
That means your bank accounts and all the cash that you have on hand. If you're a first-time home buyer, HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and FHA recommend using a certified counselor at a not-for-profit agency.
There's nothing more critical, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, than going to a housing counseling agency to get one pre-qualified, to look at your credit. They charge very little money just to do the credit report.
Quick tip: avoid opening new credit accounts and making big purchases the year that you apply for a mortgage. Payments cut into the amount banks are willing to lend.
You go out and you take a $300 a month car payment. If you were able to afford a $300,000 house, that number goes down to about $240,000 because you now are driving around a car that's costing you $300 a month.
Once you're credit smart, it's time to mortgage shop, and Mortgage Minute 2 will tell you how to do it. In the meantime, everything we talked about here is available in a downloadable PDF. Just click Credit Smart.